Alright, so I just wanted to make a quick video about the Atlantis Mini and why I think it's better than the G35, or why I feel like it's something that I could actually swap to. And the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like I'm not the only one who has stuck with the G35 for a really long time. It's a mouse that a lot of people are comfortable with and a lot of people go back to time and time again. You see my G35 is like some like modded Cerakoted one, and I've tried a bunch of different mice. The G35 was one of the first mice I ever got, and we have a bunch of others like in the back of my room. We have like Skull Mini, MZ1, Razer Viper Mini, M42. I'm looking back right now. Ultralight 2, a bunch of them. And I've swapped through all of them over the years, and the G35 has always remained a staple of my desk. It's never really left. It's always been like, if I swapped to like a new mouse, the G35 would always be like off to the side or something as like a secondary, like just I always keep it here. But the Atlantis Mini, I feel like, is actually something I could leave the G35 for, because of how the Atlantis Mini retains some of the like G35 DNA, or some of the characteristics of it, while managing to improve on it in a couple different ways. So let's talk about the similarities. I guess one of the things to cover would be the flat top, like this top profile of the mouse. I don't know if you could see it right here. It being like kind of like really flat on the top and not being like rounded. It kind of just like feels really full in the hand. At least for me, if I'm like doing like a claw grip like this, how I hold the mouse like this. I don't know how easy I can like display that, but having a flat top, it really fills out the hand and just feels kind of secure. And just showing it again, this is the G35 like this. Yep. And the Atlantis Mini kind of has that same exact curve, which gives it that kind of familiar like fullness feeling in the hand. Another thing that is familiar about the mouse would be the taper. I know a lot of people when they talk about the G35 and why they don't like it is because of the super aggressive, I don't know if calling it taper is the right term, and I don't know if I could show it on camera, but how the sides, oh shit, I'm holding it wrong, how the sides like really aggressively turn, like go inwards right here. And that's something that some people really don't like, but for me, that's like something that's like so unique to the G35 that I like a lot, because you're able to, I don't know if I could show it, you're able to kind of like almost wrap, like you see in my pinky finger, you can kind of almost get under the mouse and kind of wrap around it and under it and kind of hold it, and it just feels kind of secure. I don't know, that's something that makes the G35 so comfortable. And the Atlantis Mini kind of also has that, maybe not to the same degree as like the G35, because it literally tapers in like all the way to a point, but the Atlantis Mini especially, I mean, you'll see G35 right here. The Atlantis Mini, you can especially see it on these, like the edges right here, like right here and right here. There is like an aggressive like taper inwards towards the bottom, which I think I saw on a Reddit post on r/mouse review that someone said that it was like a bit too much, but like for me, coming from the G35, it feels really familiar and comfortable, because I'm still able to have my pinky and like my ring finger kind of get under the mouse and kind of just sit there, and it feels really nice. But those are the similarities. So moving on to the differences, obviously, there are different shapes. They have like similar characteristics in my opinion, but there are differences. The clicks are better. Like, I mean, this is modded, so of course it's like whatever, but like stock, this is just better. The coating is like chalky. It's kind of a weird way to think about it. Like Cerakote feels kind of like, it's just kind of like grippy when your fingers start to sweat, kind of, and I don't really know, it's just like, it just feels like a grippy coating. This is more of like a chalky coating. I don't really know how to describe it. This is like regular grippy. This is like dry grippy. Like it feels just dry, but it still like has really solid grip. And then of course the biggest, but what was I actually lost my train of thought on what I was talking about. I was talking about differences. Shit. Okay. So the shape, obviously shape's different. So this is just like pure egg, you know. And I talked about how it's similar with the taper on both sides right here in the middle, like all around the mouse, and how on the Atlantis Mini there's kind of the same right here. But I'd say the biggest thing that I like is the butt, this bottom part right here, how it flares outwards. Because on a bunch of other mice, when I tried switching off the G305, mainly the Razer Viper Mini and the M42, they both have the flaring out on the rear, which doesn't, well, it actually does a lot, because when you're with the G305, your thumb is kind of just free right here, which, I mean, if you like that, then like that's cool and all, like you can have that. But with the Atlantis Mini, or with anyone, or with any of the mice that have like a flare out on more on the rear, it fills in that space, and you can see how it makes contact with your thumb, like this fleshy part, a lot sooner. And what this does is it just feels a lot more stable when aiming with it, because it's just like there's just more contact right here, like right here. Whereas if I'm holding the G305, it's kind of free, which again is like more of a matter of preference. But in terms of stability, I can kind of wiggle it in this, I can kind of wiggle the mouse a little bit, you know, because there's that open space. But with the Atlantis Mini, I can still do that, but obviously it just feels more stable and locked in. And also what the rear, having like a flare out in the rear allows you to do is you can actually see it right here. G305, my pinky and ring finger kind of just go under the mouse like this. But there can be, I guess, like maybe a lack of contact right here where it just feels like, I don't know. It's just like, I mean, like my fingers are mainly straight, just kind of straight down the mouse, which honestly, no problem with that. It's perfectly fine. But with the Atlantis Mini, having this very aggressive drop off, you know, and also having the hump kind of, I don't know if you can see it by the lighting, but basically my pinky and ring finger are able to kind of hug this. I'm trying to angle it right. Hug this part right here, like this area. They can kind of wrap around, and it honestly just feels a little bit more secure. So there's like a lot of the things that I like about the G305, but also having things that I like about the Viper Mini, being that Viper Mini M42, being that it flares out in the rear and you're able to kind of wrap around it, but it also has a super aggressive inwards taper like the G305, and it's a good coating, and it's 49 grams, and it's wireless. That's just like a really good combo. I don't really know. So yeah, let me just, I keep on throwing the G305 out of the frame, but yeah, G305 solid, it's a solid mouse. You know, you can mod it, you can do a bunch of shit with it, but I feel like if you're stuck on the G305, this is just from my personal experience and having the mouse for literally a day, this is more or less my impressions of the mouse. It just feels familiar to the G305, but better, but improved in a lot of different ways. So if you like stability, if you like having more contact, you know, by like the thumb part, like if you like having the flare, if you literally just wanted this is basically just a G305 with a better coating, and it flares out on the rear, and that's basically the Atlantis Mini, I feel like, and it's just nice. I don't know. All right, bye.